And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show presented by our friends from Marshall Hometown Tire. I always want to give them a shout out for the excellent work they do on our automobiles and tires. And speaking of which, of course, I'm pleased to announce that we have ourselves a 2-for-1 deal. What do I mean by 2-for-1? Well, 2 guys, 1 interview. And we're pleased to have the head hockey coach, Alain Savage, along with assistant coach and former ETBU hockey player, Chris Perry. Gentlemen, welcome very much. First of all, once again, good to have both of you here as well. So, Coach Savage, obviously the season's kind of getting to the point where it's a conference tournament, but before we get into that, let's talk about the second half of the season. You started off with a game for 4 straight days, taking on both the defending conference champion, University of Texas at El Paso Miners, and North Texas. So just kind of recap those 4 games in a row, just getting back to the swing of things after a long hiatus.
Yeah, it was a long break. Guys were gone for about a month and a half. Came back, we had 5 practices before we played Texas El Paso. They always have a good team. Every year they do get players from a junior team for the Rhinos down in El Paso. So we were ready for them. We won the first game, if I'm not mistaken, 8-5, and the second one 8-4. They didn't bring their full squad, which was very disappointing. But we needed to win those 2 games to finish first in the TCHC conference to get home ice advantage during the playoffs, which is the conference tournament that we're having this coming weekend. Then we traveled to UNT, which we won those 2 games as well to get us ready to go to Arkansas. I think we played well those 4 games. It was 4 games in 4 nights, which took a toll on the players a little bit. But they're well conditioned and they were ready for it.
Absolutely. And of course, Coach, you also had a good challenge taking on the University of Arkansas. Now, this is a team that's not within our division. Just to clarify, obviously, they're in a different division, but obviously they're the number 1 team in their division as well. And you played 2 games with them. The first game, you were pretty tight, but then they kind of got away, and then the second game was a little tighter. Just kind of explain, what would the purpose of playing those guys behind it was, just to get to the conference tournament, obviously, but just playing those guys and what you think you learned about that.
Well, they used to have a Division 1 program and a Division 3 program. So they got away from the D1 program and only made a D3 team, which the D3 team consists of probably 12 to 14 D1 players. They are Division 3, we are Division 2, so it was kind of an exhibition match, more so to get us ready for our conference tournament. They have a very, very good team. We were very fortunate to play them before the conference tournament to get us ready. First game, like you said, was really tight until 10 minutes left in the third period, where everything kind of fell apart on our end defensively. Gave 7 goals in 10 minutes, which is unheard of on their part. We did fall apart, but we learned from it. We came back the next day, and it was a 3-3 game going into the third period. We played well. We played really, really well. We were shorthanded on the second game, missing Ryan Grushka and Timmy Zettel. But once again, we played well defensively. We took advantage of our opportunities on the offense. I can't say anything bad about the players. They gave us everything they had, and I think we are ready for the conference tournament.
Absolutely, and of course, seeing the program transition to what it was at the beginning to what it is now has definitely been a joy to watch. And one of the reasons, of course, was this man, Chris Perry, of course. Chris, obviously, you were one of the original Tiger players as well. Now you're an assistant coach, but take us back through the first time, like you put on a pair of skates at ETBU, and then seeing the program as it has grown over the years, just to kind of give fans an understanding of how far this program has come.
Right. I mean, the first practice, I want to say we had probably 10 to 12 skaters and whatnot. Definitely didn't have the gear we have now. We were just coming together trying to start a program. Had no idea it would be this far, this quick. And the leadership and the coaching really stepped up, and we saw something we wanted to pursue, and we just went after it. And everybody was dialed in, and here we are.
Absolutely. And now you're an assistant coach as well. Has that kind of been a different transition from being a player to, working with a head coach along Alain Savage?
Yeah, it's a lot different in some aspects. I mean, as being a player, you're really close to the guys, and you're on their level of different circumstances and whatnot. And I mean, I guess being on the coaching side, I can still relate to them and like be there for them with not just hockey, but in life as well. Being around their age, I can relate to some of their problems and whatnot, and can help them get through those things. And then on the coaching side, I kind of like the more administrative role, being able to see the success from everything that we've done. But at the end of the day, I mean, we can say as much as we want, but it's their decision whether or not they're going to do it and whatnot. But it's a change, but I've liked it so far.
Absolutely. Coach Savage, obviously you've had Chris as a player and now as an assistant coach. What has his role been to the program in both roles at this break?
Well, Coach was Coach Chris. Yeah, I call him Coach Chris now. Really had a specific role as a player. Didn't play much, but he was always there to give the guys a pat on the back, or if they got out of control on the bench, they were getting down on themselves. He was really always there to push them to the best of their abilities. Which he took that role and just transferred it into a coach, which didn't change much, but he's been tremendous help for me this season, where I could concentrate more on coaching than, like you said, administrative kind of part of it. But yeah, no, I really enjoy having Chris by my side on the bench. There's a few jokes once in a while. I make him laugh once in a while. Yeah, it's been great.
Absolutely. Chris, another quick question. Since you probably are closer to the guys, is there anyone that kind of stands out to you as maybe the funniest, the one that kind of makes the team together, or just kind of someone that brings the jokes?
I definitely got to go with probably Timmy as one of the older ones, and then he's always trying to crack a joke with Coach and whatnot, and knows how to push his buttons and stuff in a joking way. And then Cody Stevenson has always got a pretty good joke every once in a while. It may not be as funny to us, but it's always funny to him. So.
Well, I better make sure not to have him on anytime soon as well. One final question, Coach. Of course, this is your second time around in the conference tournament. Last year, you had to play a bit of a wild card game. At least I call it a wild card game, but a first round game to get to the second round where you took on the top seeded team. This year, you are the team that's got home ice advantage throughout. That means you just have to wait for the first round matchup against either Texas or Texas A&M, two teams you had played and had some good challenges from. Does that necessarily kind of bring it a challenge as far as like, okay, which side are you going to be playing on? Do you have to prepare for both sides in a way? And if so, does that kind of possess a challenge, or is it more just trying to focus on what you need to do in order for you to win?
Well, it is a challenge, but at this point in the season, I think if we play our game, not concentrate on who we're playing, and let them play to our level, there won't be any problems. I think we're ready for any scenarios. This team is well-rounded. We have good D, good goalies, good forwards. We're ready.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks very much, and best of luck to you. I will be fortunate to have you join you guys on the trip, and we'll keep you up with ETBU hockey later on as they go on, in hopes to continue past the conference tournament. That's Alain Savage and Chris Perry, the assistant and head coaches of the ETBU hockey program. We'll have more with them and more on this ETBU Sportsnet.